sea moss. Hello, hello, hello. It's like, where did I go? I'm clicking on buttons. I'm trying to be uber like high tech today. So I'm gonna put my 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 hoodie on, and we're gonna get into this edition. I'm excited about talking about sea moss because I make sea moss inside of my company Paula's Whip. The link is right here. Okay, so make sure that you go to Paula's Whip, check it out. I make it by hand, and I make it flavored and also um plain. And so there's a lot of different things that you can do. And sea moss, everybody's talking about it, but I wanted to really talk about how we can get into it, especially as we go into another year. Top of the year, we're still dealing with this COVID, honey. We're dealing with this Omarion. So how can we infuse some healthy nutritional foods and supplements that come from the earth? I'm a big proponent of, if God didn't put it here, I ain't putting it in me. Okay. So God needs to place it here first before I put it in me. Now, I mean, I like me a good potato chip every now and again, but for the most part, I'm pretty much natural in terms of making sure I cook my food, I season my food, I know exactly what's going into my food. I don't do fresh, I'm sorry, frozen or canned foods at all. I'm the person that will go and buy the fresh broccoli. I will cut it up and put it in a Ziploc bag and freeze it. So that's my frozen vegetables. I do everything pretty much by hand that way, because then I know what's in it. No preservatives, no added sugars, no added salts. I can do all of that to my taste and to my seasoning. But so I just try to live in a very clean and healthy way. And that was one of the things that really led me to sea moss, because last year during COVID, and I don't know if you know my story, but I was thinking about adding sea moss into my butters and my scrubs, because I know that it has a lot of new value in terms of helping to have amazing skin and amazing hair. And I was researching it from that perspective. And I got bronchitis probably like mid-November, and did not get over bronchitis until the 1st of February, when I took my first bite of my first spoonful of sea moss. Like, I ordered it and I did more research. And so when I got it, I actually made a batch and took my spoonful, and I felt as if somebody's foot that had been on my chest for the last like 2.5 months, that they just lifted that foot off my chest. I literally felt like I could breathe. So it was instant for me, and I could feel it working. No lie. And I've given it to a couple of other people. They've tried it out, and they felt that same sensation, where it really helps to clear out the airways and the passages. And so it's important for us to understand what we're putting in our bodies, and we also need to get just a little bit more information, a little bit more knowledge on that. So listen, before we get into it, I want to make sure that I am being intentional. And so let's talk about, let's lighten up a little bit. Let's lighten up a little bit. Where's my video? Let's go.
No, but little like flex. I'm just out here stunting on my ex. No, but little like flex. I'm just out here stunting on my ex. I thought I heard a lame nigga say,
hey, hey, at the end of the day,
no,
at the end of the day,
no, but little like flex. I'm just out here stunting on my ex. No, but little like flex. I'm just out here stunting on my ex. I thought I heard a lame nigga say,
I'm always gonna like whip it up a little bit. So this is the wellness edition, and so it's Wellness Wednesday. We're talking about nutrition, but we also got to talk about that fitness, how we get it in. I'm a TikToker to my heart. It is pulling on every fiber of my being because I love to dance and I love to just act up and just have a good time and make people laugh and giggle at other people as well. So that's a little bit of my TikTok. Make sure that you follow me. The link for my TikTok account is in the description. So I'm gonna need y'all to click on some TikToks. I'm gonna need y'all to watch some TikToks. I'm gonna need y'all to follow me, and I'm gonna need y'all to comment on that good old TikTok. Now, listen, let's talk about CMOS. I've got a video, and I want to kind of walk you through it a little bit because the way that I found CMOS was literally by accident. It was for my whips to put inside of my products for my hair and my skin. And I ended up with like a whole, I actually have it here. Like, well, shoot, let me just take some. Because I haven't had any in a minute. So I take a spoonful of this in the morning and I kind of whip mine up. I've been told that it has like a applesauce consistency, right? This is my personal. This is mine. This is actually cherry, so I kind of place a lot of different flavors in it. I've got some fresh cherries that I got during the summer, and they're in the freezer. So every now and then I'll make me a cherry blend. You can get it in strawberry, you can get it in guava, you can get it in blueberry, whatever's in season, pomegranate, whatever's in season. We can make that thing happen. You want to take a spoonful in the morning. You want to take a spoonful at night. Period. Point blank. That thing right there. Mm-hmm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Ooh. All right. So let's get into it. I want to show you this evolution. Yeah, so it comes to you in this dried form, and then after I work my magic, okay, and whip it up, then it comes into breaks it down into this form right here. Now, let me just give you a little bit of information about it. It is an algae. It's actually a seaweed. It comes from the actual water. My particular brand comes from the Caribbean. So I have a connect in the Caribbean and I get it directly from there. Now, be very careful about the sea moss that you get because there are people that are mass producing it in an unethical way. It doesn't come from the water. They're not drying it the right way. They're cultivating it in different ways that are unethical. So make sure that you vet where you're getting your sea moss. Make sure you vet where it comes from. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because these are things that you're placing inside of your body, right? 2 teaspoons, actually 2 tablespoons is needed. So I need to take another teaspoon to add up to that tablespoon that I just had, right? But it has all of these, right? It has protein, it has carbohydrates, just sugars, just a small, like 1 gram of sugar. It has 7.2 milligrams of calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, iron, zinc, copper, magnesium. It has antioxidants. So it's in a superfood that for your body. And the thing that I like about sea moss is that I can whip it up and place a fruit in it just to taste, or you can take it plain. You can also add plain sea moss into anything that you're going to cook. I even make I don't do potatoes. So what I do in substitute for my tomato potatoes is that I use a cauliflower mash instead. And I've been doing that for probably about 10, 15 years now. Cauliflower mash is my substitute for mashed potatoes. But if you take a couple of spoonfuls, place that inside of your cauliflower mash, now you've made your cauliflower mash a superfood, just the plain, right? You can also take it and place it inside of like sauces and soups and chili. I just made chili and I placed a couple of spoonfuls of the plain inside of my chili, and it takes on the flavor of whatever you put in it. So make sure that you understand that you can use it in this form, right? But there's so many other ways that you can use it as well. And the thing that I like about it is that instead of using flour to thicken your soups or your stews or your anything that you need, your sauces, if you use just a spoonful or two of sea moss, it acts as a thickener. And so it's a healthy way for you to start using something that's natural, that your body is going to process more healthy in a more healthy way, from something that comes from the earth that God placed here. I'm always telling you, God placed it here, you can never go wrong. Okay, you never go wrong. And now you can also get sea moss in the form of gummies. You can get it in the form of gels, pills. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get sea moss into your system. The thing that I really like about sea moss, though, is that since I've started taking it, I feel like it, and I don't, everything with me was pretty natural anyway. So it wasn't like I had like dry skin or brittle hair or any of that. But I just feel more alert. It gives you a lot more energy. Now, one of the let me break down a couple of the benefits, right? That you can get. You'll start to see and feel these benefits when you start using sea moss. Supporting weight loss. Now, when you take sea moss, it has there have been some studies where you can see the weight loss happen inside of your journey when you add sea moss. Let me tell you something about weight loss, being a fitness professional, right? When you are on a fitness journey, everything moves into that direction. So it's super difficult to say what variables are changing and not. And I'm not saying this to dispute, but over time is the only way that you can really see if these things are really changing. Because when you first start your workout regimen or your diet and nutrition regimen, let me tell you gate off the gate, everything changes. You're working out harder, you're eating different, you're doing everything the way you're supposed to. And then about maybe 3.5, 4.5 weeks into it, you start to get a little tired. Okay. And so when it comes to weight loss studies, make sure that you just take these into consideration, not as gospel, because everything can be a variable in what changes the outcome of these studies. But weight loss has definitely been attributed to taking sea moss. Also, thyroid health. And one of the things for women, especially if you are finding that you are not losing weight um, at a rate that you should be based off of how you're changing your diet or how you're working out, I really suggest that you go and get your thyroid tested, right? You need to understand how it's functioning. And that's a test that women don't always know about. And unless you have a doctor who is all in to knowing the complete total woman that you are, you may not get that as a suggestion. So I need everyone to take heed that the reason why is because the way that your body processes and metabolizes fat may be hindered based off of how your thyroid operates. The only way you'll know that is to get that tested. It's super critical and it's super important that we as women not only take one word, but that we do a whole comprehensive study on what's going to help us get to the end goal, what's going to give us the information we need. We need medical science, okay? And I'm a natural girl from the earth. We need medical science. So I'm not saying ditch the ditch the doctors. What I'm saying is taking that medical science in addition to living a really sound and healthy lifestyle. When you put those two things together, you're always going to win. But if you're having any type of health issues in terms of gaining weight fast, losing weight super fast, or moving and exercising and adjusting your diet and nothing's changing, get your thyroid tested. Another benefit for sea moss is that it supports your gut health. This is super important. Cleanses are important. I will say that a lot of cleanses are done incorrectly, um, without enough information to be able to sustain you throughout the cleanse. And so the cleanse may not be 100% um, beneficial to you because you're missing some of the key components. When it comes to cleansing your body, you still need to give your body all the components that it needs to function. So, cleanse does not mean starving. It means making sure that you have all of the components that your body needs in order to sustain life and health throughout its day to day functions, period. You still have to get up, you still have to work, you still have to expend energy, right? You need all of the vitamins, all of the nutrients, all of the nutrition that you need in order for your body to function, for your heart to beat, for your brain to think. You still need all of that. And so when it comes to how we process food, a lot of waste ends up in the gut. And so, what CMOS does is it helps to improve the health of your gut. It helps to clean out all of that, the bacteria that's the unhealthy bacteria, because there is healthy bacteria, and there's such a thing as cleansing your gut too much, where you're stripping the healthy bacteria that's there to lay the foundation to make sure that the food and the enzymes that come from processing the food don't burn through the gut and don't harm the lining of the gut. So there's a lot of like technical information. I'm not going to overload you on that, but the one thing you need to know is that there's unhealthy bacteria and there's healthy bacteria. And when it comes to supporting good gut health, you want to keep the healthy and you want to expend or expel the unhealthy bacteria. Then we have supporting the immune system. This is my favorite, okay? Because this is what we fighting right now inside of this pandemic, inside of the Omicron and all the other variants that we have seen and will see, because we will see many more variants. Trust and believe the way that this is going. So, in order for us to really combat that, we need to have a great immune system from the gate. It's not let me wear my mask and let me hand sanitize and let me, um, you know, um, eat and drink and be merry however I want to eat and drink and be merry. If your body is not sound enough and strong enough to be able to fight all of those variables that come in the form of COVID, um, bronchitis, and all so many more that I can't name, then your body is susceptible to be at risk. And so the best way to do that is to build the body up, build the immune system up. And that's why I take my sea moss in the morning and in the evening, because it helps my immune system to just be stronger. It helps those antibodies to really like form and to be able to like push against. I have not had COVID. I felt like I've had COVID in this season, knock on wood, but I haven't had COVID. And I've been tested multiple times. I feel like a large part of that has been isolation from teleworking, of course, but also keeping my body and putting things in my body that come from the earth. I just swear by that. That's how I was raised as a country girl in North Carolina. That's all I know. So when it comes to how we think about food, we have to think about food in a different way in order for our bodies to reap the benefits of all this knowledge that we have. And so when it comes to COVID, the big C word, we want to just do things that help us build a healthy immune system. It's also been known to help fight cancer. There have been some studies for that as well, that it helps to fight specific cancers. Please do your research, ask questions, because it is a superfood. I'm going to say this one more time. It is a super food, right? And so it also, we're in the season of new year, new you. Everybody's working out a little bit more. It helps to support your muscle and your energy recovery. You will have more energy when you take CMOS, period, hands down. Um, you also are going to recover quicker from your workouts. And it also is going to help you from the fatigue that you may have. Sometimes, like 2 days later, is when I get like that real like muscle fatigue. I can work out hard in the paint. The next day, I'm good. 2 days later is when I feel it. But since I've been taking CMOS, even the 2 days later is kind of like, you know, because I've got that in my system and it's helping me to fight. And so your CMOS is not only going to help you reduce fatigue, but it's also going to help you reduce exhaustion, and it's also going to help manage pain levels, because when you work out, the muscles break down, and then that fatigue that you feel or that tightness that you feel is when your muscles are repairing and growing and reconnecting, and getting bigger and stronger, right? Also, it's been known to help with fertility and supporting healthy hair and skin, right? There's super evidence for that. Now, I'm a big CMOS girl. I feel like anytime that you get the information to do something that's proactive for you, to get the information that's going to push you in a different direction, you definitely want to do that. So I'm going to think there was one more. I just wanted to make sure I gave you as much. Oh, this is another important thing. Um, it's been known to help improve blood sugar management. So I know, especially in the African American community, that's something that we struggle with inside of our community. A lot of it comes from just not moving enough, right? Basic stuff, not moving enough, not eating the right things. And so improving your blood sugar is going to be critical during this season. Anything that you can do to help you to regulate your blood sugar and also to come off medication, you have to at least try it. Do your due diligence and test it out. Research it. Don't take my word for it. Research it. Ask others questions. Find out more about it, because this is the season where we get to be super healthy, and we can't be super healthy doing the same thing. So I want to introduce some new things to you, some new ways to move, and some new things to introduce to your diet, so that you can be a little more informed about how you move and shake and bake in the world, so that you can enjoy the life that you are working so hard to live, and so that you can do more things inside of that life, because you're healthier, and you can do it a little bit more. So, look, let me take my second spoonful before I sign off. Uh huh, uh huh, uh huh, uh huh. Mm, 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 mm. Oh my God. Amazing. Amazing. So, listen, I'm your girl, Paula Marie, and thank you so much for joining this Wellness Wednesday edition as we talk about the superfood sea moss, which is a game changer. Make sure you go to the link. Okay, make sure you go to the link, www.paulaswhip.com, to order your sea moss. You can get it in plain, and you can also get it also in um, the flavor, fruit flavor of your choice. It ships out in about I would say 8 days. It ships out within 8 days, and the reason I say that is because I make it fresh and I ship it fresh, and you have a 30-day shelf life to use it. This is actually a bigger size, but this is my personal. I go through it. You're going to be have the option to get an 8 ounce or 16. Your 16 ounces actually to 8 ounces together. It comes with an ice pack, and it's shipped cold. So I want to make sure that you understand that when you get it, it's not like I batch these up and I just have them sitting in the refrigerator waiting for you to order. I don't make it until you order it. That's super important, because the shelf life on it is 30 days, unless you place it in the freezer, and then you have a shelf life of a year. It's also important for you to understand that you got to get this in your system immediately, and you also have to get it into your system consistently. So once you start ordering it, you want to make sure that you are consistent with taking it. Don't wait until your container is empty before you reorder. Make sure that you gauge when it's time to reorder, so that you can get your next batch. But sea moss is the superfood. I swear by it. I live by it. I got a vat in the refrigerator right now, because I have some orders I need to get out. But in order for you to really change the dial in how you move, you've got to change some things about what you do. And it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Little bite sized changes will make a huge difference. Huge difference. So I want you to always understand that, and always be aware of that at the end of the day. All right. Welcome to